Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched The Amazing Race Season 31, Episodes 5 and 6, which were broadcast on Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019. This episode is brought to you by Sweetos, the sugary puffs of nothingness covered in a dusty coat of chemicals that taste kind of delicious, but kind of not at all. Get them now at grocery store near you in both. Actually, the original flavor is discontinued, but you can still get the Easter caramel flavors right there on your favorite grocery aisle. It's probably in an end cap or something. Sweetos from Frito-Lay's. Okay. I actually don't go eat those unless Frito-Lay's wants to send some more my way, then I won't say no to free food. But anyway, actually, we'll say no to this free food because it's probably not doing me any favors at all. All right, let's get into these episodes. I was laughing like an idiot for most of this. So first of all, spoilers ahoy. I'm going to talk about who gets eliminated in each of these episodes, who wins the legs of the race, and all of that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to find out, go and watch these two episodes. They are so good. Like I was about to say. Okay, spoilers now. Actually, not really spoilers yet. I was laughing like an idiot through most of these two episodes, especially the first episode, and then a lot of the second episode I was just yelling at my screen, just yelling constantly, like, what are you doing? No, don't do what? No, look at the thing. No. Oh, it's so much fun. I love this show. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just so good. But I will talk about it. So in episode 5, they go to Dubai. I can hardly read my notes. I was writing so frantically. They have to drive to the they have like a dates and tea with some local fellas, and then they head over to the Dubai Frame, which I hadn't actually heard of before. I don't know maybe I have heard of it, but it just didn't stick in my memory. I've watched a lot of architecture shows, not recently, but there was a time there I was watching like any of these like fantastic building type of shows. Fantastic Buildings is not a show, but we did make an episode of a show called Fantastic Buildings. That's Steve Thomas. He wrote and directed and starred in, and is really, really funny. And it tied into our Baki to the Future episodes that we made, part 1 and part 2. And I think they might still be on YouTube. I think they are on YouTube. I think Fantastic Buildings is on there. But anyway, the episode was about the Brown Palace, which is a building here. It was for an assignment. We had to make a video based around a historical landmark, and he chose the Brown Palace. Nate, he chose the Union Station downtown, and I chose Bonnie. Is it Bonnie Bray's Tavern? I think it was Bonnie Bray's Tavern, or whatever it is. It's on Colorado. Is it on Colorado? It's on Colorado Boulevard, just south of Colfax. I think it's it's even further south. It's like on 5th or something. I don't know. If you're from Denver, also, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, anyhow. I did not know about the Dubai Frame. It looks like a super awesome building. They go up there, get their next clue. They have to do either fall or find. To fall, they have to go to the Burj Khalifa. To find, they have to go to this dinosaur park to search for eggs. So a bunch of people choose that one, including the sisters, the Rachel and Alyssa. But with all the teams that are there, they're like, we should switch. We should switch to the other one. That's a really bad impression of them. Maybe it's a really good impression of them. Anyway, so Brett and Chris, Janelle and Brittany, Nicole and Victor, and Team Fun, they all do the eggs, and it goes really, really quick. Like, compared to the other thing, if you mess up, you have to wait in line to be able to do it again. Because the other thing, they thought, oh, we're going to be jumping off the Burj Khalifa. That's insane. Burj Khalifa is what, like 982 meters high? Or the platform that they end up on is that high? That's ridiculous. But it is a virtual reality thing, and they're asked questions at the end about the stuff that's in the simulation. So the sisters and the Afghanimals really have a hard time with this. All the other teams I didn't mention do the fall one. So that really puts the sisters in danger, and that continues all the way to the end. They end up in last place, but we'll talk about that in a second. They head then to Soho Gardens, where they have the roadblock. Who can feel the beat? At a silent rave, they have to. It's silent rave night at Soho Gardens, and they have their own headsets. One member from each team, which was Brett, Nicole, Christy, Floyd, Tyler, Janelle, Leo, and Rachel were the team members who did this task. They had to feel the beat of the music they were hearing and find the people just by like how they were moving and stuff, how they were doing, what they were listening to, and find the people who matched what they were listening. It looked really awesome, but also like super frustrating. And Brett was the first one to get there, but I think he had the hardest time, at least from what we were shown. It seemed like he had the hardest time because Floyd got there. He got there like fourth, and he absolutely nailed it. First try, he gets it. His background as a drum major really helped him there. And I like that they kept that explanation in there because that was really cool. Leo also nailed it. I think he also nailed it. And then Rachel, it seemed like she got it right away when they did finally get there. They got there last. So Rachel was all crying the entire way, and Alyssa's like, just stop it. But everybody had to head to the pit stop at the marina, but they didn't go straight to the marina. They went to a nearby building where they then embarked on the longest zip line in the world, which is insane. It looked like so much fun and absolutely horrifying, especially because it was at night, but it was so awesome. So let's go down the list. We had Team Fun win this leg. Becca and Floyd absolutely nailed it. I give Floyd a lot of the credit for just busting out the groove there in the silent rave. And yeah, I'm really happy for them. Second place, we had Chris and Brett, which is awesome. That's amazing. Number 3 is Colin and Christy. Colin was way too into it. He couldn't hear any music, but he was like dancing for it was a little bit weird. Tyler and Corey got 4th place. Nicole and Victor got 5th place. Janelle and Brittany came in 6th. Leo and Jamal came in 7th. And Rachel and Alyssa came in last place. And it turned out that this was a non-elimination leg. So they have to face a speed bump in the next episode. So, episode 6, they head to Uganda. Corey was especially having a hard time. He was very anxious about going there because of a lot of the government's stance against homosexuality and all that. And he was really, really stressed out about it. But all the other teams were very supportive of him. And once they actually got there, it was they talked about how great it was that the individual people that they encountered were all very nice and helpful and all of that. And yeah, that was nice to see. So when they get to Uganda, they're all on the same plane. So it was just doors down. They're off to the races coming out of the airport. And those taxi drivers must have been like, oh, what's going on? I mean, they were there. They were ready for they were there for that job, but there's no way they were expecting to be that wild with 16 people just barreling at them, and all the production crew as well. But let's see. They headed to first the Uganda National Mosque, where they dressed in respectful traditional clothing, and then had to count the steps in the minaret, big tower, the tallest part of the structure there, and they had to count a specific section of the steps, because Tyler and Corey they tried to game the system a little bit. They did some research and saw that the tower was 304 steps, which is the answer that they gave, but that is not the correct answer, because that is the total number of steps all the way down to the ground, because they were already starting on the roof of the main structure. So there were, at least there were exactly 32 more steps below where they started. So the answer was 272. So that was a little bit of a speed bump, but not as much of a speed bump as getting completely wrong a couple of times. They almost got it wrong a second time. Or a third time, the sisters, Rachel and Alyssa, at first it was like way off, 236, and then 271. How they were that close. And then Rachel was about to say 270, but Alyssa, good for them that Alyssa convinced her to write down 272. So they did get in there. They were the last ones to get through there. After that tower, they had to Owino Market for their next clue. The roadblock, which was who wants a Rolex, which is a sandwich, is rolled eggs, like basically an omelet rolled up into a flatbread. It looked like it could have been pretty good, as long as it wasn't made by Floyd, because he dropped the bread on the ground and still went with it. They should have had him remake that. That's unsanitary. It wasn't like even on the floor in a kitchen, which isn't really that clean either. It was on the street. It was on the ground. They were outside. That 5-second rule, it doesn't apply when you're outside, in my opinion. When you're cooking food, nah. I hope nobody ate that. Janelle, she goes looking for actual watches, and she finds a place that sells watches. That was not it. And she finally, Brittany was getting so frustrated. She's like, "It's right here. I can't say anything. I can't tell her. It's right here in front of us. We literally started right next to where we're doing." And she does finally get it. And but it's the other teams have moved on way past them. So after making these Rolex sandwiches, which looked delicious, like I said, as long as they weren't on the ground, they then had the detour. Is that the detour? See, I wrote it down in the first episode that the roadblock. Okay, yeah, it is the detour. Is the thing that you choose between the two things. I need to write it down every time or I forget. Before doing the Rolex, Rachel and Alyssa had to do their speed bump of doing some laundry and hanging it up to dry. The description of it was like, oh, but they're gonna have a real hard time finding space to hang up the laundry. They had a whole line that was completely clear, ready for them to use. Or if that was not supposed to be like that. But anyway, they headed to Gaba landing site where there were boat builders, and they had to show. They got their clue from a guy, one of the boat builders, and they had to choose. They didn't have to build a boat. They had to choose between salty roll, where they had to prepare and preserve fish, or move the roll, where they had to transport a whole bunch of sticks, pieces of wood, up from the shore into like a lumber yard and stack them a certain height, which took multiple trips on the stacking onto that bicycle. Everybody chose that one except for the sisters and Janelle and Brittany. which may have been, I don't know how well they would have done. I don't know if that would help them get ahead of the sisters. That was really the only chance, because after this, it was a head-to-head, which means everybody has a chance at winning, even if you get there last, because you still have to do the final head-to-head against whoever lost the second to last match. So this meant that Janelle and Brittany were going to have a chance, but as it turned out, every single round was won, except for the first round. The first round, nobody had a chance to do it before that, but every single round was won by the person who had lost the previous round. So nobody did it more than twice, and in some instances, partners switched places. So there weren't really a whole lot of people that even did it twice, even out of the losing teams. So we started out with Tyler versus Colin. Tyler won that. Tyler and Corey are in first place. Then Colin versus Victor. Colin won that match, and Colin and Christy got second place. Victor went up against Chris. Victor won that head-to-head, and so the Victor and Nicole got third place. Chris swapped out with Brett, so we had Brett versus Floyd. Brett won, and so they got fourth. Floyd faced Leo. Floyd won. They got fifth. Leo switched out with Jamal. Jamal beat Rachel, and so they got sixth place. And then Rachel stuck in there, and she beat Brittany, who got seventh place. Rachel got seventh place. Rachel and Alyssa got seventh place. So Brittany and Janelle were eliminated. I was literally screaming at my screen like this entire time. Also, whenever Janelle was like looking for watches, I'm like, what are you doing? Get back over. These not watches. Look, read your clue. It has better information than what you're going off of. You're fixing on that one word. That's like reading the headline and not reading the rest of the article. You're just going off, who wants a Rolex? Oh, I gotta go find some watches. Read the article. Read the entire clue. It says sandwiches in the clue. I know it did, because they're talking about it. They read it out loud. Why would you get ingredients? It says you have to find a list of ingredients for the Rolexes. Why would you be looking for what? Watches don't have ingredients. What are you doing? Oh, I'm so disappointed that Janelle and Brittany are out. I like them so much more than Rachel and Alyssa. We're stuck with them for at least another episode, where they're gonna have apparently gonna have some confrontation with Victor and Nicole. That's not gonna be fun. They're like on a train. They're a captive audience. They're gonna be like all snippy at each other. Oh man. Speaking of snippy, I saw this post about Quentin Tarantino interview about Once Upon a Time in the West. It was him, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie on a panel, and a reporter asked him why Margot Robbie's character didn't have very many lines or something like that. And Quentin Tarantino just says something like, I disagree with your or I reject your hypothesis, is what he says. And that's all he says. And he says it like, just like that. He doesn't like yell it or anything like that. And the headline of it, this is from Variety, the website, not the maybe the magazine too. I don't know. It was like, Quentin Tarantino snaps at female reporter after being asked a question about blah, blah, blah. Like, that is anybody with a brain who actually watches the video that they're describing in this article. That's not the case at all. That is not what happened. So, yeah. But, I can say in the previews, them snapping at each other, or at least the sisters snapping at Victoria and Nicholas. Victor and Nicole Um, or their names are always in the opposite. It's Nicole and Victor is the name. Their names are always presented in that order. They're absolutely being very snippy at towards them. So I don't think I'm being inaccurate like that Variety article was. So, oh, they're going to the Alps. How awesome is that? One of my favorite places I've been to in the world. I was fortunate enough to be able to go with the Blue Devils in 2005 around Europe, a couple of places. One of the places was a place called Lecco, Italy. It was at the very beginning. It's on the south, like where the Alps just start rising out of the horizon. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's at the beginning of the Alps. It's like not in the depths of it, but you still see them, and it's beautiful. And there's this beautiful lake, this little town, and everything. It's amazing. I think they're going actually like the real Alps, like in the depths of it. Probably did they say if they're in Switzerland or wherever? I don't know, but it looks friggin' awesome, and I'm really looking forward to this episode. Even though there's going to be lots of snippiness on the train, where people can't escape because they're on a train, and it's not a hijacking or anything like that, where they have horses riding alongside that they can jump onto with their loot and all of that. Oh, the prizes for these two legs. Becca and Floyd for winning in leg 5. They won $5,000 each. That's super awesome for them. And then Tyler and Corey, how awesome is it that they won this leg of the race? I'm really happy for them. They won a trip for 2 to Singapore, where you get like massages and stuff like that. I also really like the commercials with the Travelocity gnome and Phil. Phil is talking to the gnome. The gnome talks back as well. And the gnome is like, what are you talking about? We're not doing any challenges or looking around for it. Just relax. So we see Phil with the cucumbers on his eyes and all that. Cucumber slices, not full cucumbers. That would be a fun. I'm sure there's an image out there somewhere with somebody getting in a spa, and they just have a whole cucumber balanced on the bridge of their nose, covering their eyes, like just barely moving a little bit, like a tottering teeter totter. Whew. Anyway, I hope you can tell that. Wow, that was really loud. I hope you can tell that I really love this episode. These 2 episodes. I'm so looking forward to next week. What do we have? There's 12, or there's got to be like 6 episodes left. Maybe 7. Maybe a couple more double episodes. I've got to imagine these episodes are keeping consistent at being numbered each hour, because it had a full regular ending and a full regular beginning for the next hour. So I don't think that the number is going to be messed up on my end of things to match up to the official count or anything like that. Like it does sometimes with Survivor. I don't know what's going on there sometimes. But anyway, who am I even rooting for now? I want anybody except for the sisters to win. Oh, they would just be like, not that they don't deserve to win. If they are able to win, then they deserve it, of course, but it's just going to be so obnoxious to see them win. I don't want that to happen. I think maybe Tyler and Corey are my top picks right now. Not just because they won this last leg, but I just like Corey a lot. He is so awesome. Becca and Floyd, we awesome to see win. Chris and Brett, I think they're my dark horses of this race. They've been killing it these last 3 legs. 3rd, 2nd, 4th, they are right up there. I think it's only a matter of time. I think that they're going to be the first non-Amazing Race team to win a leg, because it's all been Amazing Race teams winning the leg so far. I think they could do it. I really think they can. So that's what I'm going to be willing out there into the universe and hope for. But yeah, I just enjoy this show so much. No matter, completely different people have won these last 3 or 4 legs, and actually completely different people have won the last 3 legs, because Becca and Floyd won 4 legs ago also. But I don't mind at all. It's just been so much fun to watch. So let me know what you thought about these 2 episodes of The Amazing Race. Who are you rooting for, and who do you want to get eliminated? I should really just stop. No, I'm not going to stop. As long as they're still annoying me, be like, ah. That's most of what my yelling at the TV has been, is like, no, you have to beat them. Please beat them. And then when people finally do, I'll beat them. It's non-elimination. God. I hope we're done with the non-elimination legs for the rest of the season. Or if there is one, then there's a double elimination right after that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you thought by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. And I'll be back next week with more of The Amazing Race. Go out there and eat some Sweetos, caramel flavored, Easter egg shaped chemical puffs. Stay safe out there in all of the infinite universes, infinite multiverses, and that includes not eating those sweet puffy treats. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.